everyone, it's Charlton. This story, it was picked up in several places, but the Daily Mail is where I saw it, about a man who claims to be a time traveler. So, and he appeared on this Apex TV YouTube channel, which is a big channel. It's got 500,000 subs. It's a cool channel. So, but obviously, I'm a little bit. I would say most people would be a little bit suspicious of somebody who claims to come from the future. He says he comes from the year 6491. He gave a long, I think like half-hour interview. I'll play a couple clips from each one. And then he gave a second interview at this channel taking a lie detector test, And according to the channel, he passed the lie detector test, So, there's always the possibility that the lie detector, is the person administering the lie detector could be lying. I mean, that's a possibility. Sorry to say. But again, this channel is cool. These things interest me. I watched a fair amount of this. This is 17 minutes. The other clip is 39 minutes. But I did pick up on a couple things. Naturally, I don't believe this, but it's still fun as heck to watch and listen and try to just kind of digest everything that's being told to you. And it's quite elaborate. So, but let me just play a couple. And they says truth or lie each time. He kind of goes through an explanation. But I'm only going to play a portion of each. And then I have a few comments. I picked up on a few things, man. Sorry, dude. Here, we'll play this. And
you said you have a time machine. First off, where is it?
Well, I can't tell you that.
So it's actually being hidden somewhere on Earth right now?
Yes, it is being hidden. I can't tell you that.
Okay, interesting.
Your year system started with the birth of Jesus Christ, and the death of Jesus Christ, sorry. And mine has dated back to the beginning of the first civilization. Not to mention that from where I'm from, the years are longer.
Okay, so he says, he was explaining that, it's difficult to time exactly what year he's from because he actually comes from another planet. According to him, he's a human being. That's another question I have. But I guess human beings eventually travel to another galaxy thousands of years from now and inhabitate another planet. And that's what he's from, another planet that has a different, goes around a different sun. So, and it's further from the sun than we are. So it's hard to know exactly what year he's from. That's what he's trying to explain. But the thing that I noted, okay, and I didn't actually pull it up here, is that he initially says, the first civilization, the birth of Christ, and then he says, no, sorry, the death of Christ, and he was trying to say how he timed where what year he's from, and he corrected himself and said, no, not from the birth of Christ, I mean the death of Christ. That's how from our calendar's time. But that's a common misconception with BC and AD, and I'm no like trivia master, believe me. But I remember that, and that thing that always got me hung up. I went to Catholic school and all. I'm a terrible Catholic. I never go to church or nothing like that. I don't know Catholic history, but I know that BC and AD, and I always knew that people screwed that up, including myself. And so I had to look it back up. In AD, most people think that stands for after death. After the death of Christ. And he says that. That's what he's going by. But it doesn't. It stands for Annus or Anno Domini, all right? The year of the Lord. The birth of Christ, all right? AD is actually the year of the Lord, the birth of Christ, even though before Christ is before Christ existed. And so, like, the birth of Christ is 1 AD. It's supposed to, and technically, I didn't know this when I looked it up. The birth of Christ is actually not exactly 1 AD. It's not even December 25th, according to most, historians and stuff. But AD doesn't stand for after death, the death of Christ. AD is Anni Domini, the year of our Lord, the birth of Christ. He had it right the first time, but he corrected himself because AD, he was going on and he was using after death. And he says after the death of Christ. I'm just saying, you would think after 4,000 years, we would have finally gotten that right. And we wouldn't still be hung up and using and considering AD after death when actually it's the birth of Christ. I'm just saying, okay? So here's another instance, and that, that's not the big deal. I'm telling you, I like this channel, so I'm not being a big doggy downer here. So here's another thing I picked up on.
Going to shut down because it's not safe to fly. So if Yellowstone were to erupt, you need to get yourself to an airport as fast as possible, and you need to leave the country. And I know that's hard, but it's better than being stuck here. And scientists have estimated that it will take about 5 years for the ash to dissipate at minimum. That's a big problem because, you can't grow anything. So essentially, the whole country would be dead for 5 years, and that's not even counting how long it'll take for the soil to...
Okay, he was talking about here, and I'm only playing a little clip because I don't feel like getting copy strikes from people. But, copyright thing. So, but, he was talking, before he talks about ripples and that he can't tell you the future because it'll screw up the future, But he is talking in generalities that there might be some catastrophic event where Yellowstone is going to have some massive eruption that literally spews so much ass out into the atmosphere that all of the United States will never be able, you won't be able to. He's literally saying that if it begins, you should go to the airport and get out of the country and leave because for the next 5 years, the United States is going to be dead. But that's really not my point. It's interesting. He talks about time travel, and he goes over how it works sort of in very general terms about how when particles, the speed of light, and double the speed of light, and all this other stuff. I don't remember it specifically. But in this example, he talks about scientists estimate, and he's talking about the future, but you're from the future, dude. So first off, the scientists of the future wouldn't be estimating the past. That's what the scientists of the today estimate what might happen in the future. Okay, you see what I'm saying there? So that seems to break down a little bit. All right, it's a really cool thing. I recommend you go check it out. I'll link it all down in the description. Again, I'm not trying to. This guy's, he's probably making he's got a cool gig going on here. And it's not just this. It's one after another of all different stuff. Another different time traveler that I think he's saying he might bring some. He said he's got a ship here. That was the first clip, and that it's hidden somewhere. The governments everywhere would be all over this guy if it was for real. But he's got a piece of technology that he's going to show you, I think, in his next video that's from the future. Irregardless, I find it fascinating. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I will see you in the next video. Later, man.